I want you, please take me home. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the call-in show. I'll be with you in just a second. Make sure you hit that thumbs up because YouTube really cares. If you want to be a part of the show, click that StreamYard link. It's very easy. We got football tomorrow. Come on now. Everyone wanna come down.
I say right foot creep, oh, walking with that heat. Look around, stay low, make sure they don't see you. Catch some bad, walk down, face them with the heat. The devil under your feet, you're on your way to see him. Stretch me when I can't sleep, bang on when I see you. Play with me, you can't sleep. We got into to the seashore. You won't have no case rearrange your shit soon as they face you. You won't have no space, we in your section 2 weeks.
Okay, do I sound stoned to you right now?
What up, what up, what up, what up, everybody? Happy Wednesday to everybody. Welcome to the College Football Call-In Show. Less than 24 hours away from 5 straight days. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 straight days of college football. We have finally arrived. The longest off season in all of sports. Talking season, I thought was over last week, but from judging from what I've been seeing this week, the talking season has been extended. But talking season is about to be over by Monday night. Monday night, Clemson versus Duke. If you want to be a part of the show tonight, it's very easy to do so. Click that StreamYard link. There's one in the description of the live stream. There's also a bunch of different posts in the live chat between myself and your boy Nightbot. It's very easy to do. A lot of people are scared to use StreamYard for some reason. It's almost easier than using a phone. And in fact, these days, it is easier than using a phone. You don't have to be on camera. Just follow the prompts. Take you 2 seconds. It's very, very simple. I will be live tomorrow night at 8 p.m. or just before 8 p.m. A couple of good games on tomorrow night, as you can see from the title of the video. Florida and Utah. Utah is currently a 4.5-point favorite. I got an email today from betnow.eu. No, they do not sponsor the show. So this is not a sponsored plug here. And I'm not even recommending that you use them at this point. But what I am saying is I got an email from them. I didn't use them at all last year. I used them the 2 years prior. They used to be a sponsor of the show, actually. But anyway, they sent me an email and said that they put $40 in my account. I guess because I haven't used their site and made any bets in over a year. So I went on there and I did, since it wasn't my money, it's their money, I made a parlay bet. I took Nebraska. That's right. I took Nebraska at +7, and I took Utah at -4.5. So we'll see how that plays out. It's not my money; it's theirs. So if I lose it, it doesn't really matter, does it? No, it doesn't. But I think that if you're looking for a sleeper bet, I think Nebraska at +7 is a pretty good bet. But I don't know anything about betting. Just ask the people that watch the Lunch Money Show. Let's see who's in the chat right here real quick. Then we'll get right to the phone calls. Shout out to all the people that survived Hurricane Idalia. We're getting the worst of it right now, and honestly, it's not that bad. It's rainy. I've seen worse thunderstorms. I'm not diminishing, what the people that got hit with the actual storm went through. I hope you guys are all safe. A lot of flooding down in Florida. Actually, there was a tornado that ripped through here about maybe 5 miles from my house in Goose Creek, South Carolina, and flipped over a car earlier today. So that's what I worry about more than the hurricane itself, because it's not a hurricane anymore, is the tornado activity. So everyone be safe out there. I'm assuming we'll have power the entire time tonight. We'll see. Let's see who's in here. Matt Dummett's here. The Uncle Lou, Third, and Nate. He's in Nebraska, man. Drewski 2 times. Robert. Jeremy Garrettson says, go Big Red. Well, since I have a bet on them, I guess I say go Big Red too. Hoghead is here. The Nature Boy. Stingray. Wet Blanket. Brad Pitt. Octavian. That's a Florida man, I believe. Yeah, it is. What's up? He says, go Gators. Ballin' with AC. My mother was watching women's volleyball. Your mother apparently wasn't the only one watching women's volleyball. I saw a video of 80,000 plus fans that packed Nebraska Stadium, their football stadium, to watch a volleyball match. That's got to be a record of some sort. Zona Tucson 93. John Serene. Robert Fogel. Good evening, Go Tigers. All in, loving the show and representing in Tennessee. It's sad that you have to walk around and look at all that ugly ass orange from the Tennessee fans. But I'm glad you're representing up there. Mrs. Peete is here. Mike Fort. Captain Trips. Chance-tastic. George is here. Brian Kelly scares me. Look, if George is scared by somebody, that says something. I'll just leave that at that. Joe D. Ferris. R1. Will you be streaming the Clemson game on Monday night? Does a bear shit in the woods? Yes. I'll be streaming a lot of games, actually. I'll be streaming tomorrow night, twice on Saturday, and Monday. Well, and a lot of times in between. I'm talking about game streams. Just a Man in Michigan is here. Nepty. All right. Well, let's see what we got here. Like usual, I will take the phone calls in the order that they came. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Testing.
What are you testing?
Am I clear to you? It's also Nate to wait, or no, wait. It's third and Nate.
Yeah, what's up, Nate?
I'm doing good. So I watched Nebraska swept my brother's university, Omaha Mavericks. And just, I think it was like 92,009, and for the record, for the largest volleyball match in history.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. More people go to Nebraska's volleyball games than go to Georgia Tech home games.
That's sad.
That's very sad.
Embarrassing.
Actually, a lot of teams in the ACC. Let's count the amount of home teams that don't have as many fans to watch their football game play at home as Nebraska does a volleyball match. You got Miami. You got Georgia Tech. Half the ACC doesn't even hold that many fans. So I guess you eliminate. You go ahead and eliminate Wake Forest, North Carolina, NC State, Louisville. No, I don't know how many. Well, yeah, I think they'll hold like 60,000.
Oh, okay.
Boston College. Am I missing anybody? Duke. Oh,
yeah. Duke.
Yeah.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yes.
All right. Nate, how excited are you that your beloved Cornhuskers get to play tomorrow?
I am excited for Matt Rule and the Huskers fan base, including me. I believe that Nebraska is going to shock the world by beating Minnesota.
I don't know if that's necessarily shocking the world. They're only a 7-point underdog on the road.
Well,
with a new head coach.
Yeah, what I meant was like to haters, but whatever. Yeah. I just think that Nebraska's going to go run like deep in the Gophers' throat and or Gophers' throat and just win in the trenches. That's what I think. But who knows? Minnesota might, pull away from a field goal win. I don't know. Who knows? God knows. I don't know. But I'm hoping that Nebraska wins, yes.
What do you think about your tight end getting hemmed up and arrested?
Well, that's normal for former Georgia players.
Well, I don't know. He came from LSU first, didn't he?
He did, and he also, I don't know if he still played at Georgia, but
no, he had issues there too. I don't even think did he ever see the field there? I'm not sure if he ever saw the field there.
Think so. Well,
I don't know.
What I've heard from most YouTubers, but not. I think one of them said he was the best tight end come out of high school at the time, and he just ruined his career, basically.
Yeah, he did. Now, the guy's clearly got mental problems. The video was released today of the security cam footage from the liquor slash vape store that he robbed, which I didn't even know that was a thing. I don't know. I guess we have different laws here in South Carolina. You can't have vapes and liquor in the same store in South Carolina. Anyway, he threw a brick through a window, ran in there, did a grab and go type of deal. Filling up his pockets with vape and liquor. And then on the way out, of course, the police were just standing there waiting on him. Unbelievable. But anyway, but having said that, I do have the Nebraska covering the 7. If you want to get real frisky, you can bet Nebraska on the money line. I think it's like plus 250. For all of you guys out there who don't know what that means if you bet Nebraska on the money line to win, and if you bet $100, then you get your $100 back plus 250 more.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also, I know you have a caller, so have me behind me. Before I go, what do you think of Nebraska this year? Is it like just getting to know Nebraska this year, which is kind of like 7-5 or 6-6? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, somewhere around there. Okay. But I'll learn a lot more about Nebraska tomorrow night.
All right, I can't wait. But have a good one, Pete.
All right, see you later, Nate. Nate the Great calling in. What is up? You're on with Pete.
I think Nebraska will beat Minnesota, and I got one top 25 upset.
Okay.
Iowa will get upset by Utah State.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Utah State will upset Iowa.
Utah State will upset Iowa.
Yeah.
Is that tomorrow night?
That's the noon game one of the noon games on Saturday.
Oh yeah. Noon games on Saturday. I'll be streaming right here for the noon games on Saturday. Of course, unfortunately, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, Colorado will be playing TCU at noon on Saturday, and I think half of the country will be watching that game, if not more.
Yeah, I don't know what channel the Iowa game is on, if it's on the Big Ten Network or ESPN.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people will be watching that game.
Yeah.
No. But I do appreciate your prediction, though.
Yeah. I don't know why they have Iowa ranked to begin with.
Are you an Iowa fan?
No.
Well, who's your team?
Kentucky.
Oh, yeah, I remember you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who do they play?
Ball State.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Ball State. How you feeling about that?
Confident. As confident as I can be.
You say as confident as you can be. Well, how confident are you?
Probably about a 40-point win.
A 40-point win?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty damn confident, sir. I mean, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got
Florida
relation to Utah, so.
Yeah.
Is Cam Rising playing in tomorrow's game, or?
You know what? I don't know.
I know I was looking at the injury report, but it says he's staffed.
Yeah, I don't think they've said if he's playing or not. The question is, can they win without him?
Yeah, they probably can because
I think so too. Yeah.
How good Graham Woods is going to be. He wasn't that good at Wisconsin.
Yeah, I think the questions for Florida are not defensively; they're offensively. Can Florida score? Yeah. That's the question.
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, that's the question. That's the $1 million question, Dylan.
Because the defense is going to be good, but the offense is up in the edge.
Yeah, that's right.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, good luck to your Wildcats against Ball State.
Yep.
All right. Sid Irish says Cam isn't playing. You know, I don't know. Chad Skinner says no, he's not playing. I think that's why the line was higher than that. That must be the reason the line moved. I think that originally the line was about 2 points higher, maybe around 6.5. So the fact that he's not playing, I think, moved that line. I would still probably take Utah, though. What is he out for? Is he injured? That must be it. I thought I read somewhere that he had like a hamstring or something. Chad Skinner says ACL. Oh, well, I mean, there's no kind of ACL. I mean, I guess you can sprain your ACL. Oh, torn ACL. Oh, from last year. Okay. Man, so that tells you a lot right there. They feel like, I mean, because, you know, the bowl game last year, that's 8 months ago. Now, that's right around the time that, you know, I guess everybody's different, but typically it's around 8 to 9 to 10 months, whatever, to recover from ACL surgery if you have a tear. But the fact that they're holding him out thinks that they feel like they're confident that they can beat Florida without him. Again, everybody's different. Sometimes you see guys come back in 7 months. Sometimes you see guys come back, you know, it take them 10 or 12 months before they're 100%. But if they feel like they're safe keeping him out in this game, that should really tell you all you need to know. I would still take Utah. This line, you know, by the time it kicks off tomorrow night, it's 4.5 right now. It might fall closer to 2 or 1 by kickoff. So if you're planning on making a bet on that, and if you believe that that's the linchpin that decides the game, whether or not he's playing or not, you might want to wait till just before kickoff to make that bet. That'd be my advice. Yeah, drop 2 points, probably drop 2 more, if I had to guess. Plump Strawberry says, doesn't mean they're confident. They're just saving him for conference games, which means more. Yes and no. I do agree with you that Utah's first and only goal should be to win the Pac-12. But I also believe that Utah, if they have playoff aspirations, and it comes down, you know, to a situation where they're trying to fight their way into that top 4, then that win against Florida week 1 will come into play. So I don't necessarily disagree with you. I'm just saying it does matter. The game against Florida definitely does matter if they have playoff aspirations, which I believe that they do. What's up? You're on with Pete.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Hey, what part of South Kakalak do you live in?
Charleston area.
You getting hammered right now, or are you doing all right?
No, it's not. It's really not that bad. I mean, we're getting heavy rain. We've been getting rain and a little bit of wind all day. But I mean, like I said, I've had thunderstorms that are more ferocious than this, so it's not that bad.
Okay. Well, hey, I'm a Georgia grad.
Okay.
So let me, at the risk of screwing up your topic tonight, let me just say something. You know, you're playing Duke.
Yeah.
We're playing UT Martin. Let me get you your prediction for what is going to be this time next year. What's going to be the storyline, you think, going into our game?
Oh, going into the Georgia Clemson game?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will say that Clemson this year, I believe, is primed more than they have been in the past 3 years to put together a run. And a lot of that it has to do with the fact that the new offensive coordinator, but a lot of players came back on defense that could have gone to the NFL. But we're going to lose all those players and more. So defensively next year, I have question marks about Clemson. I mean, now listen, they're recruiting well, but I think they're going to be very young on defense next year. So I'm looking, as far as the matchup between Georgia and Clemson next year, I'm looking at what Carson Beck's going to look like, and or Brock Vandergriff. You know, if he ends up being the guy that takes over, we'll see how Beck does. But I'm more interested in what Georgia's offense looks like before I can make a determination on that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think you pretty much nailed it from our side, because I think there's some people that think that Beck's going to be a one and done.
Oh, you mean he's going to play this year and then enter the draft?
Yeah, based on his.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if that happens.
Well, based on his physical traits, you know, he's been in the program for 3 years.
Yeah, I understand he's eligible, but I think that it would be foolish for him to leave after starting for 1 year. Now, I don't know. Maybe he'll go. Now, look, if there's some sort of crazy situation where he goes out there and has like a 2019 Joe Burrow type year or something, yeah, he'd be foolish not to enter the draft. But other than that, I think he needs to stick around and get more, playing experience.
Yeah, I agree with you. Up until this morning, I was listening to a guy on ESPN, and he was talking about how this Indianapolis is they've already said they're gonna start this clown from Florida.
Anthony Richardson. Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. I've seen this guy for 3 years. He couldn't hit. I mean, he couldn't throw it in the ocean, and you're telling me he's going to start for an NFL team. I think the whole reason why he got drafted is based on his physical ability. And I think when you see Carson Beck this year, the arm, the presence in the pocket, they say the dude's hands are unbelievable. I mean, the guy like grips a football like nothing we've seen in Athens in a while. So I think based on his physical ability, he may be able to make the jump, even if he has a so-so kind of year, just based on potential. I never thought that until I heard this about Anthony Richardson. I was just like, I just rolled my eyes like, you got to be kidding me, man.
All right, well, a couple things here. First of all, with Anthony Richardson, I understand why they're starting him. They drafted him 4th overall, and the only way to justify that really is to start him. When it comes to Carson Beck and what you're saying about him, I don't know, man. I feel like, first of all, we don't know. You said if he even has an average year, that he could be gone. I don't agree with that, because I feel like that the players like him who are highly recruited out of high school, they're looking for that 1st or 2nd round draft grade. If he's average, he might get a 3rd or 4th round draft grade, and I think he'll stick around for another year to try to make sure he gets in that 1st round. There's a big difference between 1st round money and 3rd round money.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. Believe me, as a Georgia fan, I hope we do get 2 years out of this guy. But well, I'll tell you what, man, it's been fun the last few years. Starting the season with you guys and then Oregon, and I'll be honest with you, it's kind of anticlimactic, to be honest. When you're used to that, it's kind of we don't have a whole lot to look forward to on Saturday. That sounds kind of arrogant, but
no, it doesn't. I understand. I mean, I get it. You want to see your team open up with somebody that you can get excited about for week one. But would you rather play a Clemson or an Oregon week one, or would you rather play a team that you know you're going to whoop up on and let your first time starting quarterback get some reps under his belt? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I believe me, I'm complaining because I don't have more to be excited about. But I think, I think being that we have a new quarterback, I think it's better that we start the way we're starting. We had a lot of momentum coming off the Peach Bowl win against Cincinnati when before we played you guys, and then we had the big, obviously winning the national championship and then playing Oregon. We had a lot of momentum. Same starting quarterback from the previous year to the new year. So. It does make sense to start the way we have, and I have no problem with it. I will say this: I don't mean to hog the call.
No, you're fine. You're fine. We got plenty of time. We're only 30 minutes into a 2-hour show. There's plenty of time.
I hate to say, I have nothing but respect for Clemson. I like Clemson. I love the rivalry. I love the driving up there and all that. But I will say this: Clemson is not one of my 4 playoff teams. What I envision is, I'll go ahead and give them to you. I see Florida State and Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, and I've got Ohio State and Oregon in the Rose Bowl.
So the Oregon one's a little bit surprising to me because I think a lot of the love is going to both Southern Cal and Utah. So that's different. But I'm interested to understand what your reasoning for Florida State is ahead of Clemson in the ACC.
I think just the momentum they have. I think the talent they have. I think that the coach did an outstanding job at Memphis when he was there. I'll be honest with you. I think they're good enough to win the ACC, but I don't know. It's just more of a hunch more than anything.
Yeah,
I know the game. I want to say the game is in Death Valley, right?
The game's in Clemson. Yeah, week 4.
But then you have to possibly play them again in the ACC championship game, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no divisions in the ACC this year, which I'm happy about.
I guess it's just more of a hunch pick more than anything. Part of it is I love that. I enjoy that fan base of Florida State. I used to live in Southwest Georgia and got to know the Seminole fans. And I'm really, part of it is hoping for that matchup more than maybe my heart is pulling more than my head is. I just know that seeing those two fan bases come together on Bourbon Street in New Orleans that would be so much enjoyment. I don't think you'd see two better looking group of women come together either. I think it'd be lights out. Get together.
Man, look at this man.
You took Florida State women and Georgia women, it would be lights out.
Oh man,
on Bourbon Street.
Well, first of all, you're not. I mean, you're in the majority. I feel like I've seen the majority of the people believe that Florida State's going to win the ACC this year. I'm of the opinion, take my fandom out of it, right? Obviously, I'm a Clemson guy, but take my fandom out of it. I'm one of these people that when it comes to long-time losing streaks, that you have to show me before I believe it, right? So Clemson has beat them 7 years in a row. Should be 8 if you add the COVID year where they ducked Clemson because somebody had a cough on the plane. But anyway, they haven't won the ACC in 8 years. They haven't beat Clemson in 7 years, and so I'm of the opinion that I need to see them actually do that. Before I buy into the hype. Now, I think Florida State's going to be very good too. I mean, like I said, they're ranked ahead of Clemson in the AP poll. Most people out there believe that they have a better team than Clemson, even though I don't. But the advantage goes to Clemson with the regular season game being in Death Valley.
Well, let me ask you this: I think the game, no matter who wins, and I'm thinking that you guys may lose the game in Columbia, but I think the game in Columbia is going to be a war, regardless of who wins. That's not going to help you guys the next week.
That is a fact, sir. I do believe that you're right on that. But again, I'm not buying into the South Carolina hype either. And I have a long history to go off here. And I'm not talking about the Clemson versus South Carolina history. That's pretty much well known that Clemson dominates that series. But just over the past 20 years or so, definitely the last 10 or 15, South Carolina has a habit of putting together a decent season, most of the time 8 or 9 wins, and they crown them as the next coming of the king of college football or the SEC or whatever, definitely of the state of South Carolina. And then they follow it up with a giant egg almost 100% of the time. So, again, this is another situation where I need to see it to believe it. And South Carolina lost a lot. And I don't think that Spencer Rattler is a bad quarterback, but I think he's an inconsistent quarterback. And we haven't seen consistency out of him anywhere he's been. He wasn't consistent at Oklahoma. There was flashes of great play. We saw flashes of great play towards the end of the season last year, but we haven't seen him put a season together that's impressive yet. And look, it's not like he's a sophomore. I mean, this guy's been playing college football for 4 years. I think this might be his 5th year. So I'm not buying into the South Carolina hype quite yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know what you're saying. I just know how hard it is to win in that stadium. It's in Columbia, and even though we won, I think I want to say 48-0 or something last year, but you're right about South Carolina. They lost a lot. I still don't. I guess because I don't live over there. I'm still shaking my head. How the heck did South Carolina lose that tight end back to Oklahoma? And then they lost their best running back to the West Coast. I still don't know how the hell that happened. I look up and see he's not even on the depth chart. Then I find out the kid from Maryland. I can't remember his name, but
yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
I'm like, well, why did he not go back to Columbia? Why didn't he go back to South Carolina? And so, as much as Beamer tries to talk about culture and recruiting and all that, how the heck did this running back who you stood behind and spend tens of thousands of dollars to get him healed up with his knee and have a breakout season last year, why the hell did he leave your program?
Well, I think Billy Cole in the chat hit the nail on the head. Money, probably NIL money.
Yeah,
that's really. I mean, that's really the right now the strength of a program like Southern Cal is they've got the NIL money more than South Carolina does.
He went to Southern Cal. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, listen, I've been going over to Columbia more. I've been going over to Charleston more often. You live in a beautiful town. I love that place. Love having a big steak there at Hall's and. Oh yeah,
Hall's Chop House, one of our favorite places.
And my buddy's got a place on Daniel Island, so we've been going over there a lot lately. And you live in a great town. I didn't realize you live in Charleston.
Got my Hall's Chop House koozie right here on deck, sir.
maybe I'll see you on King Street one day. All right, buddy.
All right, man. Have a good one.
See you, man. Bye.
All right, Georgia Bulldogs calling in. Ryan Harris says the best ACC girls are both Carolina girls. I don't even know what that means. Who does Rattler have to throw to this year? You know what? That's a good question because we keep hearing nobody can name a Clemson wide receiver, which is completely potato. Name some South Carolina receivers if you're not a South Carolina fan. I'll wait.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
And by the way, I happen to be partial to Clemson women. I think they're pretty hot. That's why I married one of them. Well, what's up? You're on with Pete.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Hold on. Let me turn the volume off on the TV there. Oh, man. Well, I had a good couple of days at work.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Did a Colorado video.
You did? That's good.
Florida video.
Yeah. What else did you do?
Well, today I did a Georgia Tech and a Louisville video.
That's great.
And also talked about Minnesota and Nebraska in that video, too. Lots of new coaches floating around.
Yeah.
So overall, it's been a pretty good week here at work.
That's great.
I'm pretty excited about it with the season starting and that. Yeah, the Georgia game is not coming on TV.
Yeah, I saw that. How mad does that make you?
It doesn't make me mad. I watch it on, I can watch it on ESPN Plus app, but it makes a lot of other Georgia fans mad.
Yeah.
They think, I think that they think ESPN is a charity organization that should just revolve around whatever's best for them as an individual. But no one wants to watch that game. So that might have something to do with it not being on. So
Are they mad that it's not being on the SEC network? Is that what it is? Because, a lot of times, like when Clemson plays Charleston Southern.
It's not on TV.
Yeah. But that's my point.
Not on any channel at all.
Like, I don't even know. I haven't looked, but I know Charleston Southern's on Clemson's schedule in the first few weeks, and that'll probably be broadcast on the ACC network, even though nobody will watch it outside of Clemson fans. But at least it's on the ACC network. Is that why they're mad? Like, are they saying, well, I understand it not being on ESPN or CBS, but why is it not on the SEC network?
Because other games are on the SEC.
Yeah, there you go. Ding, 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 ding. That is correct, sir. There you go.
Because no one wants to watch Georgia play UT Martin. Here's the deal. Don't schedule UT Martin. How about that?
Well,
I think if Georgia was playing, I don't know, Oklahoma, it'd be on streaming only.
No.
Be on regular TV.
Yeah.
Or even a decent group of 5 team. I mean, this is an FCS game. No one wants to watch that. ESPN's in business to make money. They can't sell commercials for Georgia UT Martin.
This is what happens when your fan base gets too big for its britches.
Yeah, it's like it's all these comments. We won back-to-back national titles. We deserve to be televised. You don't deserve anything. What are you talking about? Deserve? You're playing UT Martin,
right? So,
I mean, every SEC team has to have one game on the streaming deal, like, per season. That's how that works. So, this is Georgia's week.
I mean, you'd rather have Georgia be on the streaming service week 1 than week 5.
Well, rather be against UT Martin than some. Yeah, exactly. Like Alabama's streaming only when they play Charlotte at the end of the year.
Right.
Everybody ends up on the streaming thing once a year.
Yeah, and the end of the year is not when you want to have that happen, because especially if you're in the playoff hunt, you want to be on everybody's mind. You don't want to be a fart in the wind that nobody's watching. Right.
Yeah. So, but the other thing is, if it's that big a deal to these Georgia fans, can't they just come off the $9.99?
Yeah, just buy it for like 1 week. It's $10.
$9.99.
Yeah.
It's not like you, Pete. You're old like me. You remember when you used to have to pay $60 to watch these things on pay-per-view?
Yeah.
These people don't even know what that's like these days.
No.
They think everything's supposed to be on TV all the time. No one wants to watch Georgia play UT Martin. So.
Well, outside of Georgia.
Yeah, outside of Georgia fans, but that's not enough to support putting it on the thing. I mean, everybody's got to play on there once. You might as well play UT Martin on there. I mean, we play Ball State next week. That's on the SEC network, so they'll be happy for that.
So you came off of the $9.99, or you already have it. I don't know.
I already have. I have some kind of a bundle through Verizon that gives me ESPN Plus for free. My cell phone bill. So
for all the Georgia fans that are upset that they can't watch the game, I'll give listen, I don't normally do this because this is the Pigskin Pete show and the Pigskin Pete channel, and people like to call up and plug their shows or whatever, or talk about other shows, but I'll plug yours. If you want to see the game, just tune in to Uncle Lou because he'll be watching it, and I'm assuming you're going to be streaming it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the end. You don't have to spend a single dollar to watch him, or do you? Is it on Patreon?
No.
Okay.
No, it looks like the Patreon will be at noon. But yeah, you're right. I didn't call in to pimp my stream on
Yeah, I know you
Saturday.
didn't. I did that on my own.
I just called in to talk about work,
Yeah.
to give you a work update.
I'd rather give you a plug than listen to your work schedule.
Well, yeah, but I know people like to call in with the work updates. So
Yeah.
that's what I was doing. So, also, I made a lot of people mad yesterday. So to those people, go, what does Raj say?
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's true. What I said is true. So, and the ones that it makes mad is really the ones I was trying to run off anyway. So,
Yeah.
yeah, with that. So, because Colorado's just not any good. Did you hear, who Tom Luganbill is?
Yeah, he's that jabroni that runs around with the other guy with the hairdo.
Well, I guess, I don't know. He's an ESPN,
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah.
kind of like high school / recruiting guy, but he talks about college football sometimes. He was on some podcast the other day, and he said the only Power 5 team, the only FBS team, so 130-something team, the only FBS team with a worse roster top to bottom than Colorado is UMass.
Damn. God. Did they cancel him too?
Well, they're trying to, and of course, Deion's big mad about it. He had to go on Instagram and say something.
Did you see how big mad Deion is about this player he's got not getting a waiver from the NCAA for his second transfer?
Oh, no. But look, rules are rules. So, same thing, the guy from North Carolina. Sorry, can't play, buddy. Tez Marshall or whatever. So,
yeah. Well, this is a weird situation because this guy, you know how they have a waiver. You get to transfer one time. If it's a second time, it has to be because of some sort of health crisis or something like that, right?
yeah.
So this guy comes out after he doesn't get the waiver and says, well, my health will be in crisis if I don't get to play. Now, this is a whole different angle I've never seen before.
What is he saying? Mentally?
Yes. And
Like he'll be mentally distraught?
Yes, mentally distraught. And then he goes on to even go into more detail than that. This is really kind of a weird situation. He goes, I'm on antidepressants. I'm mentally unstable. And the only thing that will keep me stable is playing football. And so Deion goes on this rant about how the NCAA pretends to care about mental health, but by not allowing this guy to transfer twice with no penalty, they don't really care about mental health.
But he can still practice. All he can't do is play. He can still be a part of the team for his mental health reasons. He can still practice and do everything else the team does. He just can't play.
Yeah.
So that's my psychological analysis there.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't like how we cry constantly that players transfer all the time. But then when the rules are enforced, we cry about that too. Like,
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
I mean, we gave what everyone wanted, which was a no questions asked ability to transfer one time prior to graduation.
Not only that,
now they want to transfer 4 times prior to graduation.
right? And not only that, this guy that's in question and Deion both knew this rule before he transferred there. So this isn't like they didn't know what was going on and they're surprised about the ruling.
Right. It's not a surprise.
No, it's not a surprise.
Yeah. And it doesn't, whether I agree with the new transfer rule or not is not the point. It's what you said. It is a rule and everyone knows it. And here's the other thing. Everywhere in life, there's rules you don't like. Like, what are we doing? Every job I've ever had, there's been rules I didn't like. There's rules, when you were a kid, your parents have rules you don't like. Just follow the damn rules.
Yeah.
What are we doing? I'm about to get mad.
I'm
I'm about to get really pissed off here.
Well, I'd like to make you mad.
So, now, I do like that Deion Sanders wears sunglasses inside. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Does his press conferences with sunglasses.
I do
on.
appreciate that too. Yeah. As somebody who wears their sunglasses inside on a regular basis, I can definitely understand where he's coming from with that.
When Colorado loses on Saturday, how fast are you going to tune into the post-game Deion Sanders press conference?
I'll be waiting on it. You know how when you go to these live streams and it says waiting on whoever to start. Yeah,
I'll be in the chat waiting.
Yeah, I'll be in the chat just typing before it's even happening.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah, it's going to be good. How's work been for you?
Kind of slow.
Well, that's not good.
No, it's not good. But hey, my boss told me that my hours are about to pick up drastically here very soon. So that is good news.
Yeah, it is good news. I'm happy for you.
I know. Thank you. I appreciate that. Work's been slow lately. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to let you go. Enjoy your night at work, and we'll catch up again next week.
All right. See you later, Lou.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Yeah. See, here we go. B. Bean says, why is Wake Forest on TV, but not Georgia? You can say that about a lot of teams. I mean, Sid Irish says Deion cares. Does he? Roger Dodger says Lou still has Duke over Clemson. Yeah. Well, a lot of people do until Tuesday. And the funny thing about that is all the people that are picking Duke to beat Clemson, they'll say that all the way up until kickoff. And then on Tuesday morning, after Clemson completely clobbers and destroys Duke, they'll go, oh, well, of course. I mean, it's just Duke. So they'll all backtrack on it. What's up, Rance? I think the good news here is, though, with this hurricane, is that there's no Florida games being. Florida's playing out of state, so I guess that doesn't matter. But no games in the state of Florida being canceled, as far as I know, and not just the Power 5 teams either. I mean, FIU and South Florida and all those teams. As far as I know, nothing has been canceled. Because we know Florida teams like to cancel games because of hurricanes, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes they cancel games, 4 days after a hurricane's already been through there or a storm's been through there. They set the precedent for that. Well, D, that was the way it was before. He says if you graduate, have another year of eligibility, then should be a free transfer, but no more waivers for undergrads. It's nuts. I think that about 50% of the public agrees with you there. I really don't have an issue with the fairly new rule. How long has that rule been in place? Like 2 years now, I think, where they allow you to transfer once without penalty. I don't necessarily have an issue with that. But just transferring every year and expecting to be eligible, that's a Pandora's box. I mean, I don't think it's good. Forget the sport. Forget the what we care about as fans. I don't think that transferring 3 and 4 times in 3 or 4 years is good for the student athlete either. There still is something to be said for staying and trying to fight your way through adversity, which is one of the things that college is supposed to be all about, is preparing you for life. But you know, the people that disagree with that are the ones that say, well, you know, in the NFL, you know, this can happen, that can happen. Well, this isn't the NFL. There still needs to be a separation between professional athletics and college athletics, even though we seem to be trending more in the direction of professionalization of college sports. And I think that's the way it's going to continue to go, whether we like it or not. What if Colorado wins? Wins what? The game this week? Then they'll have a win. I don't know if I understand the question. I disagree with the fact that you say that Deion is using Colorado as a stepping stool. A stepping stool to what? Yeah, also, did you see what he said today? Some reporter asked him, or some reporter was, I guess, a Florida grad, and she said, "Well, I'm a Gator, and you're a Seminole," and he said, "No, I'm not." And she said, "What do you mean? You're a Florida State guy?" He goes, "No, I'm not. I graduated from HBCU." And she goes, "Well, you're still a Seminole." He goes, "No, I'm not a Seminole." He really does have a lot of disdain for Florida State. There's some deep-seated hate there. And for all the people that say that he's eventually going to end up at Florida State, I don't see that happening. He would be more likely to go to and coach, be the head coach. Let's say in some fantasy land that Deion has massive success at Colorado over the next 2 or 3 years. And he's the hottest coaching candidate in college football, right? Florida State's job comes open. I think that he's more likely to go to Florida State's rival, Florida, to coach than he is to Florida State. I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened. He had a falling out with the front office there. This battle between Deion Sanders and Florida State has been going on for several years now. But he seems to he's digging in his heels as far as him separating himself from Florida State University. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Nothing much, my good sir. I just you were talking about that particular thing, and I was like, you know what? I am easily going to jump on and talk about that because I just said that. I literally was talking to somebody about it.
About what?
It makes no sense that Deion has got the biggest chip on his shoulder.
He does, yeah.
Towards Florida State, and so when she was asking that, she was talking about, you got a lot of these Miami guys in. How does that feel? You being whatever. He's like, no. He's like, I thought that was where you graduated from. So he tried to justify it by saying, I didn't graduate from Florida State, so I'm not a no. But what he was doing. He was taking a shot.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny when he said that. I didn't even know that, and he was actually kind of like berating that woman. He was like, "You didn't do your research. I didn't graduate from Florida State. I graduated from HBCU." He didn't even say the name of the school either. He just said HBCU. But what I'm assuming is that he left Florida State. He must have left Florida State before he graduated to join the NFL and Major League Baseball, and then went back at some later date and got his degree from an HBCU. That's what I'm assuming happened. I don't know. Somebody in the chat can tell me.
He went to Talladega, I think is the name of it.
Yeah,
some small school in Florida. But
it's a weird thing though. He has a serious disdain for Florida State. I mean, most coaches in that situation would not make a big deal out of what she said. She was trying to have some sort of fun back and forth banter with him about Florida versus Florida State, and he turned it into a whole different situation.
Oh, agreed.
Yeah.
Well, but that, like you said, though, I think that kind of shows his feelings towards Florida State. Like, yeah, he may have taken it out on her a little bit, but that just, and I, it's got a lot to do with not that they didn't hire him as a head coach, but they didn't even reach out to try to, put him on as a coach. And so in his eyes, it's like, okay, y'all didn't think I was good enough. Like, so that's what I mean. Like that's just that athlete, that competitiveness in him. That's like, okay, I'll prove it to you. Like, so I think he's not going to be happy with Florida State until a few years goes by and he's built up whatever program and is able to compete with them. Like, not saying that'll happen. I'm just saying I do not see him being okay with Florida State anytime soon.
He's definitely got a chip on his shoulder, and I've been a fan of Deion since I was a kid. I used to have Deion's Atlanta Falcons and Atlanta Braves poster on my wall when I was a kid.
Really? You had some primetime stuff?
Oh yeah, I love primetime. He was my favorite athlete in all of sports. It was him and Michael Jordan. Those are my two guys that I looked up to when I was a kid. And not just me. I mean, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of other people my age. Back in the '80s and early in the '90s, looked up to those guys. But I don't. The more time that goes on and everything that's going on in Colorado, he's turning me off more and more. I don't really understand like the situation today. But both situations that I've been talking about tonight. The situation where. The kid who couldn't get the waiver because he transferred twice, and then he goes on this tirade about how nobody cares about mental health. That's just like, that's silly. And then the whole thing with the Florida State, I didn't graduate from Florida State. He basically wanted to separate himself completely. Listen, everybody that knows Deion Sanders and his college playing career knows him because of Florida State. To just pretend like that didn't happen is disrespectful. Now, I don't know, clearly it's personal with him, and I can understand if you have a personal vendetta against somebody, but let's not erase history here. I mean, you made a name for yourself in a Florida State uniform. That's a fact. Yeah. So let's not pretend like it didn't happen.
There's got to be more to the story. There's got to be like something had to have happened before. Whenever he was wanting a job at Florida State, something had to have been said that it's kind of pissed him off. I don't think it's just something as simple as, oh, they didn't choose me, I don't like them. I think something had to have been said of like, well, we really don't think you're that good of a head coach, or we really don't think, you have what it takes. It's something. That's all I'm saying. I would love to know, but I know they also don't try to come out with that stuff because of just drama. But yeah, away from that, I was going to ask you, you guys, wait, so Duke is y'all's first game of the season?
Yeah, where you been at? Living under a rock?
Man, I pay no attention to Clemson. No, I'm excited about Clemson. I just I didn't know that was y'all's first game. I knew it was really talked about. But what I was gonna say is, what is your main thing? Your main two things that you're looking for when it comes to Clemson, like just in this game? Yeah, you want them to win, but I'm saying like offensive scheme, play calling, Cade Klubnik, D-line. What you got?
I mean, I think the obvious thing is the most obvious thing is the offense. Yeah, I mean that's where they've been sputtering the past couple of years with DJ. Of course, he's gone now. This is Cade Klubnik's team, and of course the offense. Maybe the biggest hire in the offseason at a coordinator position in all of college football, with Garrett Riley. So offensively, that's what I'm looking at here. I mean, I want to see the receivers that are coming back that are going to be healthy, hopefully. Well, they are for this game, hopefully for the entire season. Cade Klubnik, and, of course, the run game for Clemson, which I think is one of the best running back duos in all of college football. Nobody's talking about the defense, though, which is weird because everybody has their focus on the offense, and I understand why. I mean, it makes sense. But, I think most non-Clemson fans are focused on the offense entirely. I'm focused on the defense. You got Wes Goodwin, defensive coordinator, going into year 2, taking over for Brent Venables, has an absolutely loaded defense with depth, both on the offensive line and at the linebacker position. I mean, they should be prime, no pun intended, with Deion Sanders. They should be prime to have an amazing and fantastic defensive season. And I said this, I've been saying this for the past couple of months. They don't need Cade Klubnik to come in there and be Trevor Lawrence or Deshaun Watson. They just need him not to be DJ. I mean, because the defense is going to handle business, and they have the running back core to support him. So I expect to see heavy run, especially against Duke, week 1.
Just to get it out the way, bulldoze them.
Yeah, because they don't need to be flashy against Duke. The defense needs to handle business and run the ball and let Cade Klubnik take a couple of shots downfield. But they don't need him to put the team on his back. He doesn't have to be Superman.
I think what you have some cool factors that go into it. One, you really don't know if DJ was more of the problem or if the offensive coordinator was more of the problem. You know, you kind of have either way. So what I'm saying is, now that you have Garrett Riley coming in, you know that's going to do well. And you know Cade Klubnik is going to do well. But Garrett Riley's former quarterback and Max Duggan has the same kind of build as Cade Klubnik. It's not like he's coming in and you've got a Jalen Hurts at quarterback. You know, you have a guy that can move, but you're not designing runs for your quarterback.
No, I don't think, going back to what you said originally about we don't know what the problem was, whether it was Streeter or DJ. Well, I'm always going to first put the blame on the coach, the guy that's coaching him, and not putting him in the right situations. Now, that does not mean, I mean, it wasn't Streeter's fault, you know, some of those boneheaded plays and interceptions and fumbles that DJ had, right? That's on DJ. But just the overall way that they used DJ, I had a problem with. I don't think they put him in the right situation to succeed. And I like DJ, and I think he's talented. He probably will end up doing better at Oregon State than he did at Clemson with less talent. And so if that's the case, you've got to blame it on coaching, not the player. But I do think that Cade Klubnik is better fit for you know, with the players they have on Clemson to succeed than DJ was. And also, I think he has a much better coach than Garrett Riley. Garrett Riley is a quarterback guy, and I expect him to get the best out of him.
It's just one of those things where I'm like, okay, what could DJ have done with a Garrett Riley? Heck, what could 90% of the quarterbacks in college football done with a Garrett Riley?
Well, I have no doubt in my mind that he would have got more out of DJ than Streeter did.
For sure.
Yeah, but how much more? How much? You know what that would have looked like? I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's all. I was just, like I said, just kind of really taking into account, you know, the games that are really happening this week. And it's not like, oh, there's a few 12 o'clock games, there's a few 3 o'clock. No, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
And there's at least one.
You better.
Yeah, and there's at least, I mean, Saturday's the main day, right? That's when most of the games are. But Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and Monday, there's all good matchups on those days. So it's not like we have
call out from work,
huh?
So you better call out of work.
No, no, I'm about to call into work.
Not you. Yeah, not you. I'm just saying, but that's wild to me. And then, okay, Utah, freaking the quarterback goes out. He's not playing. I know you were talking about that earlier, but I'm like, it's wild at how the day before a game, the day before college football season really starts, this happens to just amp it up that much more.
Yeah. So, I'm still trying to figure out how big of a deal that is that Rising's not playing. I mean, it's not a small deal, obviously.
Yeah.
But, you know, how much...
I mean, and I'll say this. I'll let you go with this. I think Florida's a much better team without Anthony Richardson. I think you having a quarterback going 6 for 22 all the time does not help your team out at all. I don't care if he's got 300 yards passing and those 6 completions. So,
well, Florida better rely heavily on the run game. If Florida can't run the ball against Utah, they won't win. If they can, they'll have a chance. And they've got they've got a couple of really good backs too. ETN.
yeah, I know. Are you streaming the game?
I am, yeah.
Well, then I'll be there, buddy.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
All right, man.
All right. Peace.
Yeah, I'll be streaming the game tomorrow night. I'm not just looking forward to that one. I mean, that's probably the one that most people are looking at, but I really want to see what Nebraska and Minnesota look like. Well, Nebraska in particular, but I want to see what Matt Rule's doing up there, you know. Matt Rule, a very good example of the difference between great college coaches and NFL coaches. Do you think that Notre Dame has players on the team that can't read? No. No. I fall somewhere in the middle. The teams like Georgia Tech and well, the ACC is full of these teams, right? You got Duke, you got Georgia Tech, and you start talking about teams like Notre Dame and that stand on the moral high ground of academics that pretend like they don't make certain exceptions for athletes. That's just not true. Of course that they do. Of course they do. But on the other hand, I don't think there's anybody that's being accepted to Notre Dame that can't read. No. What are the top 3 games of this weekend? That's a good question. Well, I think right at the top of the list has to be LSU and Florida State on Sunday. I think that Florida and Utah tomorrow night is a good one as well. South Carolina and North Carolina. How about that one? Now, I don't think that North Carolina is really going to, I don't think they're going to win their conference or have a chance to win their conference. I don't think that South Carolina is going to win their conference or have a chance to win their conference. But I think that's a compelling matchup for week 1. I may be biased, but I think that Clemson and Duke is a well. Part of the reason is because of the hype that Duke has been getting and some of the disrespect that Clemson's been getting, or maybe not even disrespect, but question marks around Clemson, and also the fact that it's a standalone primetime game on Monday night. Yeah, the whole we lost because our academic standards is total BS. And that's the other thing, too, about Irish fans. A lot of Notre Dame fans, they've been banging that drum for years. But the first thing that happens when Brian Kelly leaves and goes to LSU, they start going, well, Marcus Freeman knows how to recruit. Brian Kelly didn't know how to recruit. Well, before, the reason that Brian Kelly couldn't recruit is because of academic standards. Now they got Marcus Freeman, who's out recruiting Brian Kelly when he was at Notre Dame. Now, I guess academic standards don't matter anymore.
I don't feel well. Jesus, life shouldn't be that stressful. If this is my show 2 weeks in, by week 10, I'm going to be doing the show from a casket. Look down in the bayou.
Yeah, Utah and Florida. Having said that, I am high on Notre Dame this year. Well, I was high on them before I saw them play last week. I think this will be one of the better Notre Dame teams that we've seen in 10 years, if not the best. They seem to have all the pieces in place. The running game is really good. They have a quarterback that can move the ball for the first time in a long time. Defense looks good too. I think all the pieces fall in place. The only real problem for Notre Dame is their schedule. They have one of the harder schedules they've had in the past 10 years. 3 preseason top 10 teams on their schedule. But I think they're going to be good. If Notre Dame beats Ohio State, I would be concerned. Yeah. Tiger Batson says he's high, but not on Notre Dame. What are you high on?
Okay, do I sound stoned to you right now?
Texas Savage, thank you for the super chat. Thoughts on, I don't even know what that is. B **** be gone on TikTok.
People are like, oh, dude, you fucking roasted or you roasted.
I would answer that if I knew what you were talking about, but I don't. Can somebody translate that? I'm gonna say, is that bitch be gone on TikTok? I don't know what that is.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
If Clemson or Florida State don't make the ACC championship, who will it be? I don't even know how to answer that. NC State, man.
How dare you?
Yeah, okay. Pittsburgh, yes. I would say Pittsburgh, North Carolina, and then Miami. After that, you're going way down the rabbit hole, digging deep into the barrel. Null Squad says Florida State 12-2 this year. With losses to who? So he thinks they're going to... well, the only way for that to happen is one loss in the regular season, winning the ACC championship, and then losing the first round of the playoffs. That's 14 games. Clemson in a playoff game. There you go. Thank you, Texas Savage. Clemson, Penn State, Alabama, and Michigan is his playoff picks. Yeah, I don't think that 2 teams from the same conference are getting in this year. Too much competition out there around the country, honestly. Yeah, less likely that that's going to happen this year than most years. And you throw Notre Dame in there too. That's another monkey wrench. I think Notre Dame has a potential. If they only lose one game, I think they have a real chance of getting in the playoffs, even without a conference championship game this year. And it's not because they're great. It's because I believe that their schedule is favorable for that. With having to play Clemson, Ohio State, and USC, if they only lose one of those games, the playoff committee tends to forgive losing. If you play 3 top 10 teams and you lose one of them, they'll forgive that. Depending on how you lose. In other words, if they lost a close game on the road at Clemson, I think they'd forgive that. Now, losing a game by a couple of touchdowns at home, because their other 2 games are at home. They play Southern Cal in South Bend. They play Ohio State in South Bend. If you're going to lose one of those home games, then it better be very close. You don't want to get, run over. That might keep them out. But their schedule sets up favorably for them, I think, with having 2 of their toughest 3 games at home. I tend to agree with Noel Squad. I think that Ohio State wins the Big Ten this year. That's not a popular pick. They've lost to Michigan 2 years in a row. They clearly have a tough schedule. Everyone's high on Penn State, too. But I think Ohio State is my favorite to win the Big Ten. I think they'll beat both Penn State and Michigan. And believe me, I'm no fan of Ohio State. Anybody who knows me knows that. So if I'm saying that, it means I really believe it. A lot of people think that, JC. They seem to be a popular pick. Penn State seems to be a popular pick. Didn't I pick Ohio State last year? Yeah, I did. But this isn't last year. This is this year. Well, I have both getting in. So my preseason top 4 was Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State, and Southern Cal. I think the Big 12 gets left out this year. The one that I'm least confident in is probably Ohio State out of those 4. And that's only because of the competition they have to play. I mean, Ohio State's got an extremely tough schedule this year. Yeah, Lou Holtz can't talk. That's a fact. Yeah, I think that the Big 12 is going to devour itself. The most likely team in the Big 12 to make the playoffs is clearly Texas. Outside of that, I don't see anybody who can, and that's the thing is I think as good as Texas is probably going to be, they're going to catch a couple L's, and that'll keep them out. We're still yet to see a two-loss team rather make the playoffs. Greg Wood says, I need to unsubscribe. We all have needs in life, sir. It's not hard to. Believe me, people do it every day. You're not the first, you won't be the last. That might be the best week 2 game is Texas and Alabama. See you later, Greg. Thanks for stopping by. Someone almost cornered the vape market this week. Who? Arik Gilbert? What's up? You're on with Pete.
Greg, please don't unsubscribe, buddy. Come back, please. Please. At a minimum, we're going to have to cancel this show. If you unsubscribe, we might have to shut the whole channel down. Greg, please, for the love of God, get a hold of yourself, man.
Typically, when somebody tells me they're going to unsubscribe from the channel, I know what, I have like a reason, of something that I may have said that pissed them off enough to unsubscribe. I have no idea with Greg. What did I say? I haven't even said anything offensive. It's probably better that Greg leaves now because I do say stuff eventually that is offensive. So if you can't make it through without me saying something offensive, then you definitely won't last another week or two. He's a Trojan fan. Well, I picked Southern Cal to make the playoffs. I don't know what else he wants from me. Disturbing. Well, JC says that's the problem. That was a dumb pick. Newsflash. If everybody unsubscribed from me for me making a dumb pick, then there would be 0 people here right now. 0. Colorado 38, TCU 35.
How dare you?
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Congratulations. You tried and you failed miserably. The forecast for today is partly stupid with 100% chance of dumbass.
What's up, you're on with Pete?
What time on Saturday is Mrs. Pete's video coming out?
I don't know. You have to ask her.
Mrs. Pete, what time on Saturday is your video coming out? I would like to know.
Ideally, before 12 p.m., if you ask me.
Yeah, well, I did ask you, but then you told me to ask her.
Yeah, I'm talking to her via you right now, though.
Oh.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yep.
Maybe she'll let us know in the chat. I'm not sure. I'll hang up and read.
All right. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Top of the evening to you, sir.
Top of the evening. How you doing?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm amazing and fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, well, it's crunch time now. Who do you got your picks for this weekend in college football?
Picks against the spread or just picks overall? We did the picks on the Lunch Money show.
Yeah, overall, you don't have to give me the spread. I'm not a betting man.
Yeah, we did the picks on the Lunch Money show the other night.
Well, there you go. I already know what my team's pick is, so they're going to get slaughtered, but you live and you learn.
That's a 30-point spread?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lowest that I checked was like 27, but competing just knocked the fuck out of some Buckeyes. That's all I want to see.
Well, you'll be. You asked about my picks. You'll be disturbed to know that I took Ohio State and the points.
Well, yeah. Deservingly, yeah. I understand that. Yep. So.
But they tend to cover more than they don't against, no offense, worse teams.
Yeah. Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I like money. I like money more than I like the Hoosiers.
Hey, I can't blame you. Yeah. It's just, that's what makes it fun. I mean, no sense in getting butthurt about something. I mean, it just is what it is. Now, who does Clemson have for their opener for the season?
Shockingly, you're the second person to ask that tonight. I'll give you 3 guesses. Let's go. Go. Guess number 1.
Is it non-conference?
No.
Okay. Is it NC State?
No.
Virginia?
No.
Virginia Tech?
No. Keep going. Let's see how long it takes you to get them. You might get. Well, let's see how many teams you name in the ACC before you get it.
Florida State?
No. Florida
Miami.
State? No.
Duke.
Ding, 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 ding. That is correct, sir.
All right.
What are you doing on Monday night?
I'll be working.
You'll be working on Monday night at 8 p.m.?
Yes, I will.
Do you have access to a smart device? It doesn't matter if it's an Android device, an Apple device, a tablet of some sort, or even possibly a smart TV.
Yes, I'll have access.
I'll have access.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
to a dumbass device. Yeah.
All right. Well, tune in to right here to this channel at 8 p.m. on Monday night.
All right. Now, Duke, they supposedly have the best quarterback in the ACC, don't they? From what they're saying.
No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, well, you know, from what, the so-called critics say.
No. Well, Drake May, I think, is the leading candidate for that.
Okay. All right. Well, see, I don't believe everything I hear. I'm just asking from different points of view. You know what I mean? I'm not going to just jump on a bandwagon. Well, this headline said this and this said that. Well, it's all bullshit until you're actually in the shoes of the person or, working around it. But you know what I mean? Or even around that type of thing.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. So Clemson is a 13-point favorite against Duke. Now, this game is in Durham. Okay. It's not in Clemson, and everybody knows, right, that nobody just waltzes into Durham, North Carolina, and expects to get a W, right?
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. Would you be willing to bet Pigskin Pete $100 $100 American that Duke beats Clemson outright?
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
I'm not going to bet that because I have no clue on what each team has, and I'm not going to do that.
Oh. It was worth a try.
Well, yeah, it could be. Yeah, it's worth a try.
Yeah, it was worth a try when I did it with the Carolina jackpot, too, and he actually took the bet.
I don't. If it was me, I'd bet on Clemson to win that game. But I'm just doing that just because of the name. You know, I don't know what the hell I'm looking at because I don't know nothing about each team, respectfully. And, you know, no, we'll just see how it goes. What's your spread on the game yourself, though, for Duke and Clemson?
Well, I don't have one. I mean, the Vegas spread is 13 points right now.
Do they have that for Clemson pulling it out?
Yeah, Clemson's a 13-point favorite.
Yeah. Okay.
But you just said that you don't know about, what teams, what the teams look like, who they have coming back. You know what makes this even more sad for our boy Jackpot? He does know the players on Duke and Clemson, and he still made that bet.
Good for Jackpot. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I put my money, put your money where your mouth is, and I don't know where in the hell my money's going to go, even with a wide open mouth on that bet. So, yeah, no. I'll root for Clemson on that one, but I'm not going to put a bet on that. Now, okay. I did hear you talking earlier about Big Ten schools where you're looking forward to seeing where they end up. Who was it, Nebraska and Minnesota?
Well, I'm looking forward to that game, yeah.
And that's and I haven't looked at the schedule, with all conference for Big Ten.
Yeah, they play tomorrow night. They play tomorrow night.
Okay, so Nebraska and Minnesota play each other tomorrow night?
Yeah, in Minnesota.
I see Minnesota winning that one.
Well, they're favored.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're favored by 7 points.
Yeah, I don't see Nebraska, they was a powerhouse back in the day. But that was back when they was in the Big 8 and all that shit until, they moved to the Big 10 or whatever back when they was in the Big 12. But no, Nebraska, they'll do good in the longer. They'll do good in the future, but not the near future. But I see Minnesota walking away with that game.
Are you a big believer in PJ Fleck and the boat rowing? row your boat gently down the stream.
I can give a shit less about PJ Fleck and the Groundhogs. Yeah, but no, I just see Minnesota winning that game, which Minnesota's been dominant in the Big Ten West, but
have they
previous years. But the thing is,
how many Big Ten West championships does Minnesota have since PJ Fleck's been there?
I'm just talking just winning column in general in the Big Ten West. They don't play nobody.
Uh-oh.
And
here we go.
Yeah, they don't play, and I don't care if anybody gets butt hurt or what about it.
Damn.
But, Indiana hadn't done shit in the Big Ten East in years, so I mean, I'm not all butt hurt about it because it's a basketball school. But in the Big Ten West, when they start playing UCLA and USC and Oregon and Washington, it's going to be a totally different picture. But that's where the divisions of the conference, for the West and East break up, and it's going to start next year. So, but that's what makes it fun. Everybody has their own team, but
right.
We'll just have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to it, and I mean, it is what it is. Take with a grain of salt, but I mean, if anybody, it just wreaks havoc on them West Coast schools because the majority of their games is going to be played, in the Midwest or in the Eastern schools. So, and that screws with the players too. And that's another thing I don't agree with. But, but them West Coast schools that, that join the conference, they're going to, catch more flack about it than any of the other schools in the conference. Are you still with me, sir?
Yeah. I agree with everything you said.
Yeah, but we shall wait and see. Follow the money. It's all about the money. So, but like I said, we shall wait and see. How many? Is there any other SEC conference openers this coming weekend for the SEC conference?
Well, Florida State plays LSU. That's not an SEC matchup, but it's an SEC team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, I've heard about Florida State, but what's your? I do not know nothing about their team this year. What's your pick on them? Do you have them over LSU or under?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, that game is only, I think it's 1.5 points right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I have Florida State winning that game.
Are they playing in Tallahassee?
They're playing in Orlando.
Orlando.
Yeah, neutral site game in the state of Florida. They had a neutral site get last year, but it was in New Orleans, and now it's in Orlando.
Why don't they just play the damn thing in Georgia? There'd be a neutral site right there. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Your guess is as good as mine, sir.
Well, yeah, I guess that'd be like in basketball. If Indiana, Kentucky played each other, they played it in Louisville. They call that a neutral site. So, yeah. Oh well, I can bitch about that later on. When basketball starts up and football's still going on, but we still have to work with what we've got now. No, all right. Like I said, my team, I already know who's going to win, but I just wanted to see him compete. But we'll just see. I seen Ohio State finally named their quarterback, which I knew they would. Indiana hasn't. They named it to the team, but not to the press. But,
hold on now. They haven't named the quarterback for Indiana yet?
To the team, but not the press. Yeah.
Why?
Oh, probably wanting to hide an offense scheme that might work for a few games. I don't know. Until, one of them breaks it down, but they're playing the number 3 team in the country, so that should break down how good their offense is or bad, Yeah, it's just.
Did you just say that they're trying to hide their offense?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're. Because all the new staff and stuff that they have in coaching and all the personnel that they had, via transfer portal, they'll have a good offense, but, it's not going to be elite, but they're just trying to keep it a big damn secret. And, that and the coach, they say he's in the hot seat, but he's not because they're not wanting to give him the buyout if they do fire him. So, they're just making it a mystery. So, win 6 games and go bowling. That's all I like to see. So. You there, sir?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. But that's all I would like to see. So, what do they have? What are the big expectations on LSU and Brian Kelly's second year there? Is there, I'm sure they're just going fast retarded, but what do they like?
Fast retarded?
Yeah. Doesn't make no sense because they hired Brian Kelly, so it doesn't make any sense because he said that he left Notre Dame because he couldn't recruit there. Well, I see Notre Dame as a damn powerhouse this year. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. I mean, just like how Brian Kelly found a Baton Rouge accent, you know, South Central Louisiana accent overnight, you know, and he thinks he has it all figured out. So, yeah, he could recruit being at Notre Dame. He just, I don't know. He's an idiot, but we'll just wait and see. And I'd like to see what Texas A&M is going to do this year with, you know, the big fat roster Jimbo Fisher had, you know, prior, you know, brings all the hype, but, you know, there's no result in it. So, and they brought Bobby Petrino. What's he, their offensive coordinator now?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what comes about that, you know. I remember Bobby Petrino when they hired him, and, you know, I live in southern Indiana, and the University of Louisville is not too far. It's not too far from where I live. You know, he brought in Lamar Jackson and
how far, if you're on a motorcycle, how far is the ride from Arkansas to Louisville?
From Arkansas to Louisville.
Yeah. How far of a motorcycle ride is that?
I'm not from Arkansas. I don't live there, but I would say that would be from Arkansas to Louisville. That'd probably be about.
But not in a car, on a motorcycle. And also not only on a motorcycle, but with somebody on the back of the motorcycle.
That'd probably be about maybe about an 800-mile ride. Depends, you know. Well, where's Arkansas's university at? Was it
Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Yeah, that'd be about an 800-mile ride.
What are the chances you think of maybe a motorcycle accident sometime within that 800 miles?
That's probably about a 9. You're talking about Petrino. Yeah. Maybe about a quarter mile away from the whorehouse where you picked one up at.
So 800 miles is irrelevant. It only takes a quarter of a mile.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah. Just depends how much.
Well, the good news for Texas A&M is that Petrino is a better football coach than he is a motorcycle driver.
Oh yeah. Well, see where he got. And I knew it was a matter of time when he got canned from Louisville. Where did he go after that? And he did, what was it, Missouri State or someplace like that? But I was thinking, well, I could see him getting picked up from another Power 5, not as a head coach, but a coordinator. And I was right. So we'll just have to wait and see on how that scenario works out, you know. But no, I've always liked Texas A&M. Hell, my father went to school there years and years ago. That was one of the schools he went to in his trade. But, you know, and that's animal genetics, and for veterinary, and he went to Texas A&M, made a stop there before he went to, Iowa. But we won't get into that unless you want to. But
no, that's okay.
Yeah, we're talking sports here. Yeah.
Well, that's fascinating.
Yeah. But no, we'll have to wait and see. But you said Clemson plays Duke on Saturday?
Monday.
Okay. Yeah. We'll have to wait on that.
While you're at work.
Yeah. I'll be watching. I'll be keeping tabs on the score. And IU and Ohio State, that's Saturday as well. But Yeah, that's going to be a walk away for the Buckeyes. So we'll see how Ryan Day and the staff they'll do after that. But I see him in the hot seat if he doesn't do shit this year. So I mean, he already is. Technically, they have him in the hot seat from what I'm hearing, but they're wanting the next Urban Meyer. So. You still with me?
Yeah. I guess I got to let you go. It's getting late.
Yes, sir. No, next time I'll try to bring more excitement to your show.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it, sir.
Yeah. Well, hey, go Tigers and go Hoosiers, and you have a good evening.
All right.
God bless you.
You do the same. All right, well, that's going to wrap up the call-in show for tonight. I appreciate all of the callers. You guys are all amazing and fantastic. Of course, all the people in the chat. If you guys want to be a part of the members-only streams that I do every week, there's a Patreon link in the description of the video. We have a good time over there. Also, you can just become a YouTube channel member. There should be a link in the description for that as well. If you don't have a join button on your laptop or your smartphone, we have a good time doing that every week. But starting tomorrow, 5 straight days of college football. I'll be streaming a lot of games over the next 5 days. So just pay attention to the channel, and you'll know exactly when I am streaming. Starting tomorrow night at 8 p.m., we have a couple of good games on there. Florida and Utah, and of course, Nebraska and Minnesota. So looking forward to that. Everybody have a great night. I'll see you soon.